What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin Breeze here, and in this video, we're going to be going over the 5 best and 5 worst things about the BLU Vivo Go. So without further ado, let's get started. So my favorite thing about the BLU Vivo Go is the display. Now this display does come in at 720p, which on paper doesn't seem extremely impressive, but the display really does look good. I don't know where BLU sources their displays from, but wherever they're getting them from is a great source because these displays are awesome. I've noticed this on other BLU devices as well, but this display just looks super clear, the colors are great, it's nice and bright, and even though it is 720p, it's super crisp. And I really don't have any complaints at all about this display. This display is actually better looking than some 1080p displays that I've used in the past. So great job BLU with this display, I really think it's awesome. And if you want a great device for watching movies and consuming content, then having this great display on the BLU Vivo Go is going to make your experience even better. My second favorite feature about the BLU Vivo Go is this little button on the left side here. Now when you press on that button, you get 2 options. You get Accelerate and Power Saver. So with Accelerate, when you tap on that, it'll kill off everything running in the background. See, it just killed off 52 megabytes of memory, but it will kill off everything in the background so you can focus on the one task you're doing and the device will perform better. This is really a great way to boost the performance of your device when you need it most, and it's really nice that they have a dedicated button on the left side to help you accomplish that. Now the other thing too, when you tap on that button, you get Power Saver mode. And Power Saver mode is a dedicated mode where the screen goes black and white and you only get limited functionalities with the BLU Vivo Go, but you're able to do essential tasks such as do phone calls, access your contacts, send some text messages, and check the clock. Now you can add additional functionalities by tapping on this plus button, but these other applications are more system heavy and resource heavy, so when you're in this mode, it's really meant for you to use some of the more essential functions of the device. But this is really cool. And if you're in a situation where you're really desperate to have your device last for a long time and you don't have a power charger anywhere nearby, then you can just switch into Power Saver mode and you'll be able to get a lot of extra use out of your device. And then when you want to go back to the normal phone as it normally is, you can just tap on that button again and it'll take you right back to how things were before. My third favorite thing about the BLU Vivo Go is that it runs Android 9 Pie Go Edition. Now, Android 9 Pie is the latest version of Android out right now, which is awesome that this has the newest version of Android, but on top of that, it has Go Edition, which is a special version of Android that's optimized for lower-end devices. What's really cool about this is that you're really not losing any functionalities, you're actually gaining functionalities. So with Android Go, you can use these Go apps, so these Go optimized apps such as Google Go, Gmail Go, Go Assistant, and Maps Go. You can also go in the Google Play Store and find applications from third parties that are also meant for lower end devices like this, like Facebook Lite. But it's really cool that we have these special Go optimized applications, and with these, they'll take up less space on your device, they'll run faster, and overall just provide you with a better experience. Now, if for some reason you want the full version of Google Maps Go or any of these other Go apps, you can actually go to the Google Play Store and still download the original versions of all those applications. So you really get the best of both worlds. Now, I've used other devices in the past that feature the regular version of Android, but have similar specifications to this one, and those devices run super slow and are basically unusable. But with this device, with it having Go Edition, it's really quick and it runs really well. And overall, it's just a great software experience. So I'm really glad to see that Android 9 Pie Go Edition is installed in the BLU Vivo Go, as it's really awesome. My fourth favorite thing about the BLU Vivo Go are the build materials. So I already kind of went over the display, which I guess technically is a build material. So that's great and everything, but everything else about this device is really good as well. So we have a really nice fingerprint sensor here on the back that works really well. You can also just see the general design of the device is just good looking. This device looks stylish despite it being kind of a budget device, because I don't know about you, but I've seen devices that are under $100 and usually they're pretty ugly and they're not aesthetically pleasing, but this device isn't quite that way. It's really good looking in my opinion. There's really small bezels on the top and bottom, and there isn't even a notch on this device. You can also see in the back we have kind of this hard plastic glossy material. And I think it's good, even though it does kind of attract some fingerprints. it still looks great, and really overall, I just think this is a stylish piece of hardware. And my fifth favorite thing about the BLU Vivo Go is the performance of this device. So I've been using this device for quite a bit now, and I've had no issues with running games on this device. Of course, it doesn't run as well as flagship devices would run games, but I'm able to play games on this device. I can watch YouTube videos, I can browse the web, do phone calls, I can do pretty much anything I want to do, and it works really well. And that's a shock to me because at $79.99, I was expecting this device to run really slow and not work very well and kind of be fairly unusable. But this device is super usable, and I don't know if that's a combination of hardware and software, which I guess it is, but it runs really well, it's nice and quick, I'm able to do everything I want to do, and I really like that BLU went with a stock version of Android here, and they didn't add a bunch of junk or bloatware onto this, and with really all of that combined, you really get great performance with the BLU Vivo Go. Alright, so now that we went over my 5 favorite things about the BLU Vivo Go, let's go over my 5 least favorite things about the device. Starting off with the USB port on the top. So you can see here we have the micro USB port on the top of the device. This is really strange, especially because on the bottom of the device we have a little open space here where it almost looks like they should have put the micro USB port. And just in general, I don't really like having the micro USB port on the top of the device because if I want to use the device while this is plugged in, it's just really awkward having the cord come out of the top, especially if I want to do phone calls and I want to have this plugged in at the same time. It's just weird having that micro USB port on the top. My second least favorite thing about the BLU Vivo Go are the cameras. Now, let me be clear, for $79.99, my expectations for cameras weren't very high with this, so I'm not extremely disappointed that the cameras aren't that great on here, but I will say that the cameras are not good. And that's too bad too because they did have portrait mode on this, so we do have an 8 megapixel camera on the back and a secondary 0.3 megapixel camera, but I really think they should have just scrapped portrait mode and instead just put a better camera on the back side here, like a better main camera, because portrait mode isn't really usable. It doesn't really add anything to the whole experience here with the BLU Vivo Go, and I really think they could have just done a better job with the rear-facing camera, and don't even get me started with the front-facing camera, it's even worse. But at least the cameras are fairly usable, so that's good, but I do think that the cameras could have been a little bit better on this device. My third least favorite thing about the BLU Vivo Go is having the 3.5mm headphone jack on the top. And the reason for that is that when I want to plug headphones into this and put the phone into my pocket, it's super awkward. Because usually, if I'm holding my phone and I'm listening to music and I want to put this into my pocket, I go head first, right? Well, the problem with doing that when you have your headphones plugged in is that the headphones are plugged into the top. So you can't really do that. You have to awkwardly slide it in bottom first, which just isn't really as easy as sliding it in top first. So if the headphone jack was on the bottom, I could just easily place this down in my pocket and continue listening to my music. But since the headphone jack is on the top, it just makes that really awkward. My fourth least favorite thing about the BLU Vivo Go is that this device only has 1 GB of RAM. I'm not really sure how much it costs these companies to add more RAM, but I can't imagine that adding an extra gigabyte of RAM, giving this 2 GB of RAM, really would have bumped up the price that much. I could be wrong about that, but I really wish this did have 2 GB of RAM. Thankfully, since this device does run Android Go Edition, having 1 GB of RAM isn't the biggest issue ever, but I really do wish they would have put 2 GB of RAM in this. And finally, my least favorite thing about this device is the processor. I think they should have put in a little bit of a better processor. I'm not really a big fan of MediaTek processors. Now, some of the newer MediaTek processors are better than ones in the past, but I really wish they would have included a lower end Qualcomm processor into this device, and I think it would have really made a big difference. But, you know, despite it having kind of a bad processor, it still runs smoothly and it runs well. I just think having a slightly better processor from a better brand, such as Qualcomm, would have made a big difference. So those are my 5 favorite and 5 least favorite things about the BLU Vivo Go. Overall though, I do think this is a great device, so I'm not really trying to pick on it. Those are the things that I like the most about it and the things that I like the least about it. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you agree or disagree, let me know down in the comment section below. I really don't want to make anyone mad though with this video. I wasn't really planning on making anybody mad though with this video, so don't be mad. Just take my opinion for whatever it's worth, but let me know about your opinions down in the comment section below. And if you want to buy this device, take a look at the link in the video description, as it'll take you over to where I got it on Amazon, and you can find it there for the cheapest price. But thank you again for watching. This is Kevin Breeze here, and I will see you in the next video.